Talk to me, tell me how you feel. Make sure you keep it real though. You already know the deal. When you come around here, it's unfiltered, baby. Did you hear about what happened? It's about to be crazy. What? You wanna know my opinion? Let's get to the bottom of the whole situation. Is he stating facts or is she just hating? Did we witness something on the ground? It's history in the making. Let's talk about it, but make sure it's unfiltered, nothing watered down. That's what the Henny's here for. Go ahead, take a sip, loosen up your lips. We gon' tell it like it is. So keep away the kids. Let's talk fashion, politics, and the black man struggle. We gotta address the culture. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. If it's hot, then we gon' talk about it. Sending your topics. You gotta tune in every week. Unfiltered, guess it pop.
Go-go music.
Yeah. I ain't gonna let it play too long, but I wanted to give people a little dose of what go-go music is. It is the instruments. What makes it is kind of got like a little, like funk and like
a little two step.
Right.
Like
It's just, it's rhythmatic. It's, I don't know how to describe it, but my dad stays in DC, so when I grew up, I got a chance to hear a little bit of it, and it's just like how Caribbean people put their own twist to like the craziest songs, and you just like have that vibe and that jig to it, and you like, oh, but that was a Michael Jackson joint that sounds nothing like that. It's like taking it to an upbeat level. So that's their thing to it. So I ain't gonna let it play too long, but I just wanted people to hear it just to get an understanding, because that will be a topic for today. With that being said, I'll pause our music. Alright, so welcome to the podcast where the thoughts are real and the conversation gets very unfiltered. Alrighty, welcome to Unfiltered. So I am Tabitha. I'm Shaq.
Focus. A little bit on the weather, y'all, so bear with me.
And you know who it is, Sammy Socialite. Chilling, per
Soon,
usual.
me and Shaq gonna get some names, some nicknames rolling in here too. That's all good. Maybe you guys can come up with us some nicknames and then we'll go from there. Anyway, so let's do a quick recap. So we have to pick up on Nipsey just a little bit, and obviously we talk about Nipsey. That means we're about to bring up T.I., Kodak Black, and a couple other moments. But first, again, R.I.P. to Nip. Things still haven't gotten. I know you listening to us right now, but things still haven't gotten better since you passed. And we're just wishing your family and everybody a strong recovery as they continue to keep grieving, but also celebrating your passing.
Did y'all hear about so apparently the guy that Nipsey was helping when he was at the store, like his friend who had just got out of jail, he was giving him some new clothes and stuff like that. So that guy got shot at the same time, and then apparently now they locked him back up because he violated his parole by being around a known gang member. Known gang member being Nipsey Hussle.
You're right, because you're a product of your circumstances. Like you have somebody here that's trying to help you get better, trying to help elevate you to the next level, to take care of you so you don't go back to where you are. And then because you're associated with a positive person who happens to be in that community, now you're back at square root all over again.
I mean, that's kind of unrealistic, honestly. I mean, if he's from that environment, wouldn't you think at some point in time he would be interacting with somebody that's in a gang? I mean, that's the norm.
The rules are the rules.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I mean, I
Of
get
the
it.
government.
I get it, but I'm just saying it seems like it's a setup for failure.
We know.
But
That's what the
community is all about.
system is.
Yeah, it's
That's just another
oppressive.
part of the system.
Especially over there, like they literally are repping their neighborhood. Like gang banging to them is neighborhood banging. Like that's where they're from. So everywhere he goes in his neighborhood, somebody's banging. Like he grew up with these people.
Right. That's
crazy.
family. That's not just friends. That's family. That's not associates. Like that could be blood relatives that you're telling him to stay away from. The people who've been looking out for him since the jump. And then he even got Nip here to advocate for. But obviously that has to be a part of the marathon. Must continue. Like they have to be prepared to do something to help advocate for him or something. I mean, I know he's going to be there, but just to bring awareness to the fact that sometimes the only people that's going to help you get better and get to the next level are some of the people who are in these organizations that other people don't understand.
Right. I'm waiting for somebody to step up. I've seen this news for like a couple of days now. I'm waiting for somebody to step up. This is a perfect opportunity for Meek Mill to step up. That's his. This is his platform, the justice reform and all that.
That's true.
Like, he definitely should say something. And he's been saying stuff about Nipsey, like Marathon continues. He's been posting Nipsey and what he stood for. This is a perfect opportunity for you to be like, hey, this is wrong, and you know what I'm saying.
Explain
What
why
y'all
it's
feeling
wrong.
about, I guess, these rappers coming to LA and they're like buying out the Marathon store? Like, a lot of people have been talking about it, like, okay, you didn't necessarily support this person as he was living, but you gonna come and, you know, you gonna buy and support his brand. And
Yeah.
It's the same old thing. We don't appreciate people until they gone. We could have been supporting. We could have been
Like I
doing
said, like I talked about
everything.
last week, everybody didn't really like rock with Nipsey like that. Like Nipsey really was a West Coast, like the rappers and stuff on the West Coast, they really messed with him, you know. But like, yeah, it is weird seeing T.I. in the Marathon store, like breaking cash register and like, why? Come on, T.I.
Yeah, no, I've never seen T.I. say nothing about Nipsey Hussle before.
Because we don't listen to him like that in the South. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real.
It's like Tupac and Biggie all over again. They did not start reaching culturally around everybody until the end. But before then, it was a select few people who embraced them from other areas. The same way we're dealing with Nipsey now. So it's not something that is uncommon to us. It's like now he's become a wide figure because now people have seen it everywhere. Before you had to go look for it. Now it's right in your face. As soon as I log on to any social media, all I see is Nipsey. Like something about him, like, are we gonna have anything else to talk about? Because all that
I
stuff
saw
is
something
bad.
crazy the other day. So I saw a picture of on his album Victory Lap. He has a song, and it was with Diddy on it.
Mhm.
You feel me? So he has a picture of him with him and Diddy, and the caption says something like, "Yo, I told Diddy I want that life after death vibe."
Right, I actually seen
I was
that.
like, "Yo, that's crazy."
Because I seen it on your page.
I was like, "Yo, that's wild."
That's like I seen that. Yeah, that's sometimes the irony just happens. And if you can create it in a book,
out of all the
it
conspiracy
obviously
theories,
exists.
that one seems the most fishy to me. Like Diddy always got his head in the sun.
And he always.
No, I'm not finna.
Dude, we're
y'all
not
not
trying to
finna
throw you
comfort
into
my
nothing.
mentor like that.
We're not gonna
Like,
do it, but he always seemed to be so clean, but he always seemed to be right there, somewhere
mix.
close. Is that close to some of the most tragic
Well, I mean,
situations that happen? We're not saying you did anything wrong, dude. We just saying like
You can't
you could be a
win when you
common
play
factor.
dirty, so they say. So I
He
mean,
was
he
playing
gotta be
dirty?
doing something right.
Who did it?
or he might just be the known clean man. Like he's the one that stays out
I just
of it.
know, yeah.
Which
he
is
know
what
every-
you're supposed to do.
And he knows everything, but he ain't involved in it. But he the
Yeah.
one who everybody can tell something to. Well, anyway, so with that being talk about Nip, let's talk about Kodak Black and T.I. because there's a whole topic about T.I. Is there anything new about Kodak Black, or am I just mentioning him because we're about to talk about T.I.?
I think the newest thing is that he still doesn't really care about what people are saying about him. I mean,
They still been going back and forth.
So some basic
But
going back and
Kodak,
forth.
like Kodak decided to go back at the people that were saying stuff to him or whatever. I mean, he pretty much was just being himself, saying funny stuff.
He
And-
was lame about what he said about the game. I didn't understand that at all.
Well, I mean, you don't understand it because you probably didn't realize that the game used to be a stripper and 50 Cent did come save him from the pole. Like, but if you knew that, then it was funny. Just like when
Well, now I know.
he said the funniest thing that he said, and I was like, I might really not be able to cancel Kodak after he said this. He said, T.I., how you gonna say I'm disrespecting Lauren London when you the one who snatched the necklace off her neck? And I was like, oh my God.
that was so childish. That was so childish.
But it was funny and it was genuine and it was like, okay, so maybe Kodak wasn't just being like this bad person. He was really just being a goofy
But
new
that's
person
kinda-
like he is.
We
Like,
just can't accept
He's
his
always
personality.
been like that though. Like
that was new. That was different type of funny. all I could think of was Rashad, give me back my necklace.
That's okay.
I think is Kodak still canceled?
Yeah.
Nah.
Well,
We
he
would like
better
you to
drop.
leave your
He better
comments to
drop
let
a
us
song
know.
sooner or later.
Now they
So,
people are doing exactly what we're doing right now, laughing at what he's saying. He's not canceled. People just they were being hypersensitive to the situation, and they kind of inserted themselves into.
I saw something that said
business.
his sales went down like 700% or something like that.
I mean, but he
I
almost
don't know how
sold
true
a
that
couple things.
is.
And then he ain't
It'll go back
got
up.
no new music right now.
Yeah, it's not about the new music. It's about the streams though, and the radio
People
play.
go
So
back
when
to
it goes down like that, that means a certain station stop playing his songs. But at the same time, he
Question.
gotta come up with new stuff.
So my question, since you brought up places, when? Because I heard this on another podcast. When do we start as people who are just here to promote business? When do we start being specific as to when we pick and choose when we should stop supporting someone and stop playing their music or stop telling people to make purchases? Like, when do we decide that it's okay for us to make that decision for him? Like, the radio station, your job is to play the music. Where does your moral values come in at with all the rest of the music that's being played, and you're just questioning this one scenario? When do we make that decision?
It's all a fad. Whatever is fashionable.
Because that
Right now,
is like,
right now,
There's gatekeepers to the
To
music
everything.
industry.
yeah,
so
that includes acting and stuff too.
certain people have the say so of what happens and what goes.
And I
So
think it's easier for them
They don't wanna
to
play
just
it.
cut the plug on his music for now because I mean, what was the last song that he had? That ZZ song. But that's what I'm saying. It's
still up
still
there.
a song, but it's not like, oh my God, it's in heavy rotation because it's not the newest of the new songs.
Yeah, you don't got
So
to
for
do
them to
it
say,
hot.
oh, we gonna pull your songs, okay, I'm pretty sure once he comes out with something else hot, it's gonna be added back
Well,
to the
I mean,
rotation
and
That's a
because
good
people
people-
gonna request it.
But
That's a
he
very good
did
point.
drop an album too when he dropped ZZ, and the album was
But how long
actually
ago
pretty
was that?
straight. I mean, it came out at the bottom of 18, but I mean,
But that's what I'm
it
saying,
was more
for
songs
radio
off there that
stations to say
he
that
coulda
they're pulling
released.
it.
yeah, but like, I think it's a good point. If he had a hot single right now, it would have been harder to cancel him.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
they
support
probably
him.
radio.
So the one thing that we have to remember, because he's on the street and they're gonna support him, that everybody loves a bad guy.
Well, hold on. I mean, is everybody gonna support him? What if T.I. says not to support him?
T.I. told people not to wear Gucci, and there was still a whole lot of people wearing Gucci.
T.I.
A lot of people
T.I.
didn't
supposed to be
wear
the big bad man. Everybody.
Well,
So let's go
everybody
ahead and
know.
roll this wheel.
I don't think T.I. he has some influence, I will
he
say that,
has
but I
heavy
don't think
influence. Don't
that,
do it.
no, I feel like he has influence, but I feel like at the same token, I don't feel like he's just that dude who can sit up here and say, this is what it is and this is, you know, what it ain't, and y'all better listen to me.
He has the influence to
And-
be reposted, is what he has the influence to do. He says things that allow for people to repost him, but does he really have that type of influence for people to say, I'm going to completely stop doing something? He always tell us to stop supporting something and stop doing something, and until we do it, and how many people, especially the ones that's around him, that's doing it. Forget us, common folk.
So when T.I. put out that video on Instagram, he was like, Kodak, you need to change that expeditiously. Y'all see what Kodak said? Kodak said, or what? What T.I. gonna do? Is T.I. So we touched on this a little bit last week. Is T.I. a hood nigga or not? I put out a poll. My people on my Instagram said no.
Well, you know
T.I.
what?
is
Because
not
they're
hood.
looking at the family man. They're looking at the man who's in movies and stuff. Now they're looking at his evolution. But
T.I. has always told y'all niggas, you don't know me. Y'all keep trying to cap like Tip is not the man in these streets. Like Tip
Nobody-
get respect. Tip does have the power to change stuff. When Tip told people we not eating at Houston's no more, people stopped eating at Houston's.
I wanted to
because
go and I didn't.
whether the whole United States listens to T.I. as a movement, he has so many loyal fans and in the South that really rock with him. Like T.I. is one of the people that could be considered our leaders, no matter how people hate him. But that's why they don't think he a hood nigga, because he actually is a clean cut guy it actually can go to he can actually be talking to Keisha Bottoms about some stuff that's changing in Atlanta, which by the way he did, has been talking to Keisha that stuff changed. So like he might not, maybe he don't want to be a hood nigga no more, but y'all not gonna take away what he was.
Okay, but he sits up here and he picks and chooses. Just like he got up on the gram and called himself calling Kodak Black out, he could have very well called that man and said, "Hey, that ain't a moolah, bro." Like, but you went on social media because you wanted to catch some clout right quick.
It doesn't be for clout. You have to think about it.
Like that too,
and this is how I feel about it. When you have been or are on reality TV, shit's different. Like, I wouldn't say it's clout chasing, but at the same time, you have to know that it's people tuned into you. So you gotta give them something to read. That's why the Real Housewives be going at it on Instagram.
True.
That's why
that's part of their marketing. I actually heard Candy say that in real life.
Exactly, they have to do stuff like that. But even for tip, like, let me tell y'all, Janae Aiko posted under Big Sean's picture that he posted on Instagram this long love letter that she could have easily texted him.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it wasn't for clout. I mean, she just felt like she wanted people to know how much she loves him, etc., etc. And that's what people do, like when they got people watching.
Now my question is, because now I got to take it all the way back. So we said, is he hood? Is he a hood inward anymore? So my question is, what classifies you to remove or to lose your hood card? Because we do understand that he was hood at one point. The definition of the hood that everybody wants to recognize, the true, basically categorize him as a thug.
He was a trap star.
No. What I'm saying is what would make him lose that street cred now that he decided to be better? Because Nipsey was hood. He still got his card all the way to death, but he cleaned up his neighborhood. He was doing a lot of stuff and things like that, and we never said he wasn't hood no more. He still kept his G card. I don't know what they call it, but whatever. He got to keep it.
Wow.
Like, this was out here slapping niggas, yo. Like, come on, dog. There's a bit like T.I.
was out here. T.I. was out here for the fucking fight Mayweather.
Yo, that's a lot. That's when somebody's like, yo, hold me back. Like, come on, son.
I mean, I think there are some people who do hold their hood card even with old age, because and looking at Snoop, I mean, he's gonna forever be that hood cat.
But wait, thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. How does Snoop never lose his hood card? He out here doing all kinds of goofy stuff with these white folks.
So to me the difference is we know if Snoop make a call, it's going down. You feel me? We know Snoop not gonna do it himself.
I know that about T.I.
So
we don't know that about T.I. We don't know that about T.I.
You don't think Young Joe gonna do whatever to tell him?
No, Joe is beefing with T.I. right now. They got label issues.
That's label issues. That's not.
Is it because everybody else that we're speaking of has a gang affiliation that's backing them up? So that's what allows for them to still be involved in what we call having their hood card, because T.I. does not have a set game that he's involved in where he can say, I'm gonna call my partner now.
That's public.
But I think that he still can call people.
But at the same time, he does not. He's not a Crip. He's not a Blood, but he's still hustle gang. He still got niggas.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so just because he only has that level with him, like for the people like Taylor Gang, certain people, so we don't consider them hood because they don't have that nationally recognized gang affiliation behind them, so no longer hood anymore.
It's not even that, because there's other people who don't have necessarily a well-known gang affiliation behind them who you see.
I mean,
I talk about
is Gucci Mane a hood nigga?
Yes.
But you see,
how?
But how?
He living with Keisha K. Or getting pedicures. All on the Snapchat with the speedos on.
That's what I was about to say about T.I. I feel like some part of him has to kind of draw back on that whole hood image, because it's like, okay, you're more of a family man now. You are trying to be in a position where you can't stick around for your family. You don't want to go back to jail. So, I mean, I can understand the whole, again, cleaning up his image, but like I said, I do feel like, you know, the hood aspect comes out, you know, here and there.
For me, I feel like it's when we look at your resume in the street. You got trapping. What you mean? You got trapping, and that's it. Every other time you've never gone.
That's
He dropped bodies. Are you? Wait, don't you say he ain't dropped bodies though?
What?
Don't you? Okay.
T.I.?
We sitting up here arguing
You talking about T.I.?
about whether or not T.I. dropped bodies.
I'm not going.
Like we were associated.
Y'all trying to get the feds at my
Exactly.
but y'all not finna act like Tip wasn't in jail for doing thug shit.
He wasn't.
He was.
We don't say that thug shit.
Before he got locked up for the guns, T.I. was in jail for
what?
Trafficking.
That's it.
Assault.
We can wait. Now let me wear this back for just a second because
what T.I. got locked up for, real street niggas don't look at that and be like, yo, you're dumb.
Well, let me reel it back because we say one of the craziest gangs in the whole world that you label, you're gonna give it to like Mexicans and like the Spanish cartel, all this kind of stuff right here. And the majority of their gangsterness or whatever we call it is from trafficking, is from drug related activity. Which also comes with bodies, which again, my man, I'm sure he's got a body count underneath him.
I don't know nothing about that. All I know, Gucci got a body. I know that.
But what I'm saying, the point that I'm trying to say is,
but you don't know.
That
you know all these other people got it? No.
Well, no. But the
Gucci got a body. Jay-Z got a body.
But that's
just a body.
Jay-Z got a body.
That's just from what you know. But at the end of the day, if they were trapping at some point in time, there may be multiple bodies that they have that the public doesn't know about.
That they shouldn't know about.
No. My point of proof is that we cannot exit out trapping and say that does not make you. Maybe not in today's time. It may not make you hood because now we got little kids out here being able to buy. Exactly. So it's different. But back in the early 2000s, the 90s and 80s and stuff like that was how you considered yourself gangster. You was moving money. Yeah. It was about how much money you was making and how you was making that money. People who was owning strip clubs and all this kind of stuff right here, your hustle or your hoodness came from you putting shot on the pole, right?
I mean, my thing is T.I.'s gangsters never been tested
how can you say?
I feel like you're taking credit away from us because my boy's from Georgia, bro.
No, he's trying to give him credit because he's country. First of all, T.I. got Lil Flip the fuck out of here by himself. A whole rapper that was about to have a career, making money, the white people money. Tip got him the fuck out of here. Tip and Ludacris was beefing heavy in the streets of Atlanta before they got over that shit. T.I. has always had people that he had to put away. Don't do it like that.
It's just because you know people from there. Most people from up north don't give Southern people enough credit. Everything
they don't,
about
and that's
us,
why I don't give Jay-Z no credit.
So I've had plenty of conversations with people who are from Jersey and they from New York and different places, and it's just like, oh, y'all country, like we can't, like y'all can't fight like us, we can't do nothing. Y'all do a lot of this stuff.
I wouldn't even say all that. I'm just saying. Because Gucci is from the South, I'm like, yo, Gucci, alright, woo.
But
Gucci,
you give him credit because you think he got a body too. So it's like
that's cool. That's no doubt.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know.
And T.I. has not evolved. I don't know if you know like the full extent of like T.I.'s catalog before.
Can I pause you for just 1 second and let you pick up on that really fast?
What?
Can I pause you for just 1 second and pick up on that thought really fast?
Yeah.
Hello everyone. So we have just invited a new individual into our live show today. So everybody take the time out to say hello to Cloud. Yay!
What's good? Thank you for having me.
No problem. So we are in the middle of discussing our heated debate on if T.I. is hood or not. I don't know what your thoughts are in your mind, but yeah.
Actually, I think I saw something, and I was like, okay, so throughout the day, I be working like on editing stuff. So like to keep my juices going, I have my Facebook window like to the side of my editing window, and I think like out the corner of my eye, I saw you say something.
Yeah.
Opposing T.I.'s
That's been his argument.
First, what I said was T.I. is not hood no more. So what happened was last week we kind of touched on the subject a little bit last episode. Me and Sam was having a debate because I was saying he can't do nothing to Kodak. Like you sent this thread on Instagram. You tried to check this man in public, but Kodak is like, or what? What are you gonna do about it? And T.I. can't do nothing about it. So he may have been hood at one point in time, but he is no longer a hood nigga where in the street
he's already given his argument.
T.I. definitely can't handle his business. I don't even know why. Like, do you really think this man stepped to Floyd Mayweather Jr. and won't step to the roach that's Kodak Black? Stop it.
I think when he stepped to Floyd Mayweather Jr., it was a flex. I think he stepped to that man.
He could have been called out, and I'm sure he's
No, I feel like it was a flex. I feel like it was like, yo, hold me back.
If you came down to it, T.I. wouldn't back down though.
Hate him.
If they was
I see it in y'all.
It's not no. I respect the man. I respect. No, I'm not.
When did you come?
But I've been down here a long time.
Okay,
I'm very enmeshed in Southern culture.
That don't count.
When did you come to Atlanta?
I came to Atlanta in what? I came to Atlanta in 2001. I came to Atlanta in 2001.
T.I. was already jumping, bro.
Okay, you asked the question, that's the answer. I came to Atlanta in 2001.
How old were you then?
I was 13. No, I was 11. I was 11, 12.
Okay.
Yep.
You was 11,
Long time.
12.
I've been out here a long time.
Was I'm serious out at that time?
That's what I'm looking. I just want to make sure. That was 2001.
You arguing the time when I've already
13,
said he was a hood nigga. This is 20, almost 20 years later.
The thing, though.
Almost 20 years later, he's no longer a hood.
If you're a real, like,
I give him his due.
If you're a real
I give him his
that's
due.
something that don't just leave. You mature, you might change your environment, you might even evolve your way of thinking.
So this is the thing, I give him his due. But he has worked to put himself in a position where he's at a respectable level. He's very influential as well. But when it comes to this street stuff, like here's the thing, like now, okay, all right, let's rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Yes, everybody is so quick now that he's passed. We're gonna look at all his accomplishments, all his good deeds. I fuck with Nipsey. I've been fucking with Nipsey way before he died. And I fuck with Nipsey because Nipsey's a street nigga. Nipsey's out here slapping niggas.
He's also
Nipsey's out here in the street.
He's got
okay, but if we look at the comparison,
so what you're saying
but T.I.'s not there no more, and that's all, and that's what I'm saying. T.I.'s not there no more.
That if it came down to it and somebody stepped to T.I. right now,
you think he gonna run?
No.
I feel like he's gonna make a boss move play, but he's not gonna handle it.
Okay,
he's not gonna handle it.
Can I ask you a question? On the typical Godfather, TV gangster, real life gangster, whatever you want to call it, once you get to a certain level, your hands don't get dirty. Once you get to a certain level, you wouldn't even have to call a player, just be like, bro, this nigga disrespect. Like, and I'm not even saying that's what T.I. is. I'm just saying that to say, generally speaking, if you that dude and that's really what you were, and you grow and you evolve, that don't just leave you. So what you're saying is, if Nipsey was still alive, God rest his soul, that once he hit a certain age, you'd be like, all right.
That's what you're saying.
But see, it depends. I'm not gonna predict the future. I don't know how Nipsey's gonna carry himself. But I'm saying how we can see how T.I. carries himself. He no longer carries himself.
You said Jeezy a street nigga?
Yeah.
Why? Why would Jeezy still be a street nigga over
Tip? Because he's the same age, still rapping about being in the kitchen.
No, Jay-Z
and we know
that.
And we know
damn well he's not.
So Jeezy.
You said Jeezy.
Young Jeezy.
Oh, I thought you said Jay-Z.
He not gonna put the respect on Jeezy.
But you count Jay-Z still hood?
Jay-Z rapping about
Picasso.
Nah,
it's saving generational wealth.
Right. So why would
he ain't touched nobody in a long time?
So Sam's
You didn't even
argument,
touch the
Sam's
law.
argument, Sam's argument. No, you had a. No, I'm saying your argument was he could send the hitters, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I know that about Jay-Z. I can't say I know that
How
about
do you know that
T.I.
about Jay-Z?
Because
But
now
you
he's
still
pulling his
said-
northern card
but
on
you
us,
still
which
said
I can
that
tell him
niggas lose their
in between.
We know that. Come on, we know that.
That's not
Come on,
supportive.
Wouldn't Jay-Z have lost his hoodness like 20 years ago?
What you? I don't know. I guess I can't. I don't
Especially after he
think.
got with Beyonce, he definitely lost.
So here's the difference. Okay, so here's the difference. T.I. is putting himself in. He addressed Kodak. He said, "Yo, you need to change this expedition." Jay-Z don't put himself in those positions. You know what I'm saying? So
Jay-Z don't
Jay-Z
use
don't
social
address
media, but
exactly.
everybody
Jay-Z
else
But we
don't
would have
address.
expected
So
T.I. to be the one to say that because he
but
is
nobody
the
expected
voice of
Kodak
the
to be like,
community.
or what though? So now that Kodak said, or what? Now we look like, or what?
No, we don't.
No,
We don't care
no,
what this
Nobody,
little
so
boy
nobody.
say.
T.I. did what he
Well,
had to
I'm
do.
sure
He took
somebody in the
pictures down.
community is saying it. I'm sure somebody in the community is saying, okay, so what's next? But for a majority of us, we like, this is a little kid here, like, he don't really mean for what?
Exactly.
He ain't
Kodak
really
is-
ready
like
to
we
see
found
what's
out,
gonna
he's
happen.
what, 22 years old?
He's a
22?
baby. Of course he's going to be expected to say, or what?
T.I. will say Messiah
How many
or
ti-
Kodak.
Listen, how many times you been with some little kid and you said shut up and they was like, you shut up. Like, this is nothing but him saying, you shut up back.
Basically.
Come on.
Okay, but T.I.
And as an adult, what you say to a little kid when they say something stupid?
This is really a popularity contest amongst generations.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kodak is this new generation dude, whether he's good or bad. T.I. is what some people call a dinosaur, old head. So, you know what I'm saying? So really, when that popularity and when that biasness come in, it's like arguing a Trump supporter. It ain't
Yes.
shit you can say.
Yes.
And like, you might as well just like agree to disagree, respect your
Because I'm
opinion.
about to say this conversation. Let's go.
Yeah, because we got a couple of other things that we need to touch bases on today. So we're gonna leave off with T.I. is still hit, and that's the final word.
I said he
We
could.
gonna leave off with agree to disagree.
I said he could sometimes. He pulled a card out when he felt like it.
Well, let's go ahead and change the topic up because earlier today, you guys got the opportunity to hear a little bit of go-go music. And so I kind of wanted to touch bases on the Do Not Mute DC. So, background. Some of you have already seen on social media, whatever. You have go-go music that's being played where they say it's in the area off of Florida Avenue and Georgia Avenue, somewhere in DC. And Shaw, somewhere in Shaw in DC. So the point is that they are having gentrification in that area, and now where the stores and all kind of people in that particular corner, they play go-go music. That's their thing, and they've been doing it for decades. It's not something that's new or nothing. It's been going on for a long time.
This part
Now
of the
these,
culture in DC.
yes, it's a part of the culture in that area. So it's not going to be all over DC that they're doing go-go music, but in this particular area,
Gotcha.
that's what they do. So new people are moving into the area, and now they're saying no more go-go music. We don't want to hear it. It's loud noise. They're calling the police saying it's a disturbance. They're stopping it. So there was a petition that was passed. Of course, you know, people go, and I think it's change.org or something like that. They got a petition signed. So now they're able to keep their music as of now. But the question that I have for you guys today is, how is it so easy for an area to get gentrified and then you completely lose what made that area popular in the first place? Like, go-go music is their culture, is what they, like, it's their twang, is how they take any song and how they put their flair onto it, is what they relax to, is how they have their business days going. I mean, there were certain businesses where they got bought out, and you know, the new company is like, you can no longer play this over the store head. Like, now you want elevator music style stuff. Like, how does that make you feel? Not just because it's because we're not dealing with it, but it's a black thing. It's like people come in, and not only are you taking our area, but you kind of you're taking us, then you're taking everything that's in there out of there. Like, we're losing history.
It's, to me, it's like, how does it happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, gentrification basically is what people moving into the area,
And then cleaning up the
cleaning up.
area.
But when does it become we have our own thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is ours. This is, like, why can't we have something that's clean and that's ours and that shows our culture? You know what I'm saying? There's a Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? There's a Spanish Harlem. You know what I'm saying? You see these different communities that certain cultures flourish. You know what I'm saying? Where is that for us? You know what I'm saying? Like, so with this situation, DC.
We're giving, but
See,
not
even in Atlanta though, like I'm saying, for us as a
it's not us.
African American community, is like
They
that. The
going downtown.
gentrification's happening down here too. You know what I'm saying?
They taking
There's no
those
organization.
little points.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Well, I think a lot of times they peg out the convenience of these areas that a lot of black people are in, and then they just go ahead and buy it up, and then they say, oh, well, since we have the money now, since we're living here now, yeah, you can work here, you can do this here, you can do that here, but as far as all of this, you know, noise making and all the stuff that we don't like about this area, we're trying to clean that up too and get rid of it.
You know what just occurred to me? The real issue is ownership. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell us what to do in our spot.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If we own this, if this was our community, y'all can't tell us what to do with our music.
But then I'm gonna say this
Professional
also way too,
videographer,
because I know they
photographer,
just
No, I
know.
understand because
They can check out the equipment.
to make sure, because the visual aspect of it, you're gonna go halfway through and then the lighting's gonna change completely.
Exactly. That's why I was gonna
So I
leave
would
it
say
out.
it'd probably be best to leave it off and try to fix it in post-production. If people constantly look.
See? There you go.
Well, guess we better be wrapping it on up sooner or later.
Or else we're gonna be in the dark.
Okay, so pretty much like they're getting paid to move from their businesses, but if a whole block of stores decide that no, we don't want to sell our store for you to build condos, or a whole neighborhood of people actually decide that no, we're not gonna move, then they can't build around you.
Right.
Like, they can't just put a building in one block and there's 3 stores right around it that's not going anywhere.
Right. If we're comfortable,
But what
here,
it is,
if we're good.
they're buying whole sections of property, and that's how we're getting all the condos and high rises and stuff like that in places where we know it shouldn't be. Just literally down the street in front of the hospital, it's been trees there forever. Now they built like a 8-9 story apartment complex. And it look
right up here by us. But
yeah,
that's because we just got bought out by Emory, so now we have an image to uphold.
crazy.
Yeah, the image to
Well, I
uphold.
think it's really a game that's been played out through history on large scale and small scale. You know, they come in, they infiltrate, you know what I'm saying, they take the culture and they put it in a box and serve it back in quantities that they can handle, you know what I mean? So if they got go-go music in that part of town, that was generally their culture. After a while, you see they might have 1 or 2 go-go themed restaurants or something where, okay, well, if you want that, you can go there from 9 to 5, you feel me? So, and then it also goes down to how do you stop that as organization. They organize, stupid organized. So they either come to us on the business tip and do some of the things that y'all mentioned, or they just straight guerrilla style it and come bomb us. So it's really about organization and militarizing, because one, you got to build it, and you know when we build it, they coming for it in some type of, you know what I'm saying, way. So you also need a military like group to defend that while you're building it, and that's something you have to be organized to do, and just something we've never done. That's why the civil rights movement.
That's what that sound like.
That's how they do it. Like, they got Chinatown, they got all these different towns. That's because their community came together, and we ain't going. You feel me? Like, even, and then they sell it back to us. You go into these
But it
urban
feels
stores.
like black people just never had that opportunity. Like, every time we try to come together for the sake of something, it feels like it gets extinguished before it even gets anywhere. Like, I really feel like, you know, overall, which I think we kind of talked about on the first episode, maybe we didn't, I just feel like America just has this like a raw fear of black people. Like
The
if
world.
we actually get together and, you know, on one accord, then we're just gonna.
We're the dominant gene.
It's a whole movie out about that,
Yeah.
you know.
We're the dominating gene, and everybody knows that. You can't have nobody else without having us. That's just what it is. That's just how it goes. Everybody can accept that and take it how they want to take it, but to be completely real, and that's why, because everybody is a washed down version of us, and if we ever got to full potential, to the full purity of what we are and who we are, we can take back what we lost. That's all we really want to do, is just to gain back all the culture, all the independence, everything that was stripped away from us. We just want to gain that back. And right now we're, again, like you say, going back to the first episode, we're in limbo. And so here we are. It's just another case of showing how we're in limbo. We always, it's like we always have to ask permission for everything that we do. Even when it's already ours, we still have to ask permission. So here we are having to do a petition for something that's been happening for decades. And now we have to ask permission if we can have something that we've already had. Why am I re-asking for permission? I already got the goal. It was done. And now I'm coming back and ask you again. Like, we're always reminded
Well,
that
like
we
you
are
said,
child.
ownership.
Yeah.
Once they take that ownership, then you have to ask permission for something that was, again, originally yours.
Yeah, I said this in episode 1. It's the infrastructure. We live in this society that's ran by them. So at some point, we need to infiltrate. We need to be a part of this system that's governing us. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
like,
the only way.
cause
But you don't want to give T.I. that credit for being part of that. I'm just kidding.
They-
I'll definitely give him the credit for that. I'll definitely give him the
He
credit.
said, but not for being hood.
Well,
I'll definitely give him credit for that. And we need more of that. Like we need people in getting in those positions where they can get into government, get
You know what I'm saying?
into
2 Chainz was trying to be the mayor
all
of
that.
College Park.
because I'm like seriously, we need people that look like us representing us.
But people not only that look like us, but people that come from our communities that have not forgot
And,
where
and
they
know,
come
yeah,
from.
and know what
Because
we
a lot
they
of
gonna
people
bring
do
them
change.
home, honestly.
Right. A lot of people do change, and then we do get
Right.
caught up in a situation where they have changed, and then now they're the face. But then we go back to one of the candidates that's running for presidency. Yes, what is your agenda for the black community? And you don't have one because you've lost yourself so much that your biggest thing is, I have something for everybody because everybody's important. Bitch, we know everybody is important. But what we're asking you is, for a long time, we have been the stepchild of this community. When can we finally get fathered in as, like, we want to be in here like we're main children.
Amen.
We're not stepchildren no more.
well, I think we have been trying that route.
So wait. So on that note, are y'all ready for reparations?
Ooh. I'm going to let you finish your thought, but we got, okay.
I would say, I'm gonna just say basically what I said earlier, because like what you were saying about infiltrating the system, we have had leaders rise up to infiltrate the system, and they've been assassinated or attacked or burnt down. So, and then there's no protection for them. So the thing is, it's not like it's not happening. It's just the lack of support and protection. It's like, what do you expect the person who's trying to be that person to do? Look at Nipsey, look at Cosby, look at, I can go down the list, but until there's a certain type of defense for them, they gonna come get us one way or another.
No, yeah, and that comes to a core issue. Like, what is it that we do come together for? To like we acknowledge the fact that we as a collective are a powerful group of people. You know what I'm saying? But when do we come together as that collective?